Dan Orlovsky, kind of off the top of his head, was giving a list of, in his opinion, the best quarterbacks in the NFC. There was one name he didn't mention. This is how it went.
I would right now, if you asked me to rank the NFC quarterbacks, it's Matthew Stafford 1. I would probably put Jordan Love at 2 and Brock Purdy at 3. But if you flip-flop those guys for me, I would have no argument on that. I'd probably put Kirk Cousins at 4 and Jared Goff at 5. So Love is on his way. The 9-game stretch, he was one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. But Stafford is still
where the hell
at
is
the top.
Dak Prescott, Dan?
How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down the ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, bringing y'all my raw and uncut when it comes to our Dallas Cowboys. And if you can hear something in the background, it's my AC. It's hot in the mofo in here, but I still gotta bring you this raw and uncut. As you Angry Cowboys fans are aware, and you saw at the beginning of my video, yesterday, Dan Orlovsky gave his top 5 quarterbacks from the NFC, and one name was obviously missing from that list, and that was the quarterback of our Dallas Cowboys. Also, as y'all saw during the beginning of this video, was the reaction of his top 5 list from the other talking heads, which was pretty hilarious to me. In this morning's episode of Get Up, Mike Greenberg, Bart Scott, Louis Riddick, and Adam Schefter gave their insights on Dan Orlovsky's top 5 quarterback list. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do after that, Cowboys Nation. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's go ahead and take a listen to Bart Scott.
Yeah, Dan done hit his head or something. I don't know what Dan was slipping on Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins could have a huge year in Atlanta if he's healthy.
He could do all that, right? And we know he's been the model of consistency. He's played a lot better than people give him credit for. But not to have Dak Prescott in the top 5 in the NFC is ludicrous. You talk about him being successful in multiple different systems. We don't know what's going to happen to Jordan Love now that the league has tape on him and they adjust to the adjustment. We'll see what happens there. But to say that Dak Prescott, who was an MVP candidate for most of the season last year, isn't a top 5 in the NFC is crazy.
Oh, damn. Okay, Bart Scott. Bart Scott must have picked that face card when he hit the set this morning. If you're not a wrestling fan, you may not know what face means. The face is the hero of the match, the person that is liked by the crowd, the one that goes with the positive storyline. The reason why I say this is because a few days ago, I made a video on Bart Scott and his negative opinion on Dak Prescott. This really does show me that the crews get to the set and they're assigned roles to debate. It's a little bit more scripted than let on. But jumping into the next clip that I got for you, Louis Riddick gives his take on Dan Orlovsky's top 5 quarterback list. So let's take a quick listen and then come back and talk about it. Roll a clip.
I agree with Bart. It is crazy. Look, you know what's wild, man? Like Dak is one of those dudes who, you know, he's kind of like Tua when you're talking about AFC quarterbacks. People just love to hate Dak. Even if he puts up the numbers in the regular season, and I'm not just talking about yards. I'm not just talking about touchdowns, although those are spectacular too. Any advanced objective metric that you use to gauge this man's play, he's not just one of the tops in the NFC, he's one of the tops in the NFL. He was tops in the NFL last year. You can't dispute that. No, he doesn't throw no-look passes. No, he wasn't someone who was highly touted in the number 1 overall pick when he came out of Mississippi State. No, they haven't gotten to the Super Bowl and won it. But to say that he's not in the mix for the top 5 in the NFC, and I love Matthew Stafford, love Purdy as much as anybody. He's right in there, and he has a strong case to say, I'm the best in the NFC. I really am. If you want to look at my statistics, yeah, I mean, Like, we can sit here and go back and forth on this all day long, but the numbers are what they are, and the numbers don't lie. Because, again, I'm not just talking boilerplate, standard box score scouting. And this has been echoed by other quarterbacks who watch Dak play, who really respect his high level of competency at the position.
You know, it's crazy that Dan Orlovsky left Dak Prescott off this list, but at the end of the day, who is Dan Orlovsky? I'm not going to get into talking bad about Dan Orlovsky or talking about his inefficiencies at the quarterback position, but Dan should be the last person given his top 5 on the quarterback position. The funny thing is, no one on the set actually agrees with Dan Orlovsky, and I wish he was there to back up the stupidity that he spewed on Get Up yesterday. Getting into the last clip that I got for you, Adam Schefter adds yet another name that Cowboys Nation and the NFC should be looking toward this year. So we're going to take a listen to what he had to say and then come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's take a listen to Adam Schefter.
Dak Prescott belongs in the top 5. Mm-hmm. He should be in the top 5. And it doesn't matter if he's in Dan Orlovsky's top 5 because at the end of the year, he'll be the number 1 highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Forget about the NFC. And not only that, but we're also missing another quarterback in the NFC's. Jalen Hurts not there. I know Jalen Hurts fell off. But if we had been making this list 1 year ago, Jalen Hurts would have been the number 1 name on that list. Yep. And he's not even mentioned in that particular list, right?
Well, remember Jeremy Fowler's the poll where he asks all the different coaches and executives, and Jalen Hurts fell out of the top 10 in the views of a lot of people in the league. Look, these things are somewhat fickle, and they come and go, they rise and fall. And to Shefty's point, Dak Prescott's going to wind up being the biggest winner out of all of them because of the way he has played this thing from a business standpoint. But the only question that certainly, if you're just jotting down who are the 5 best players at the position in the NFC, clearly Dak Prescott is one of them.
Oh boy, I know some people in Cowboys Nation is going to hate what I have to say about this. So, y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Joining live conversations with Mark Holmes and Game Time Brian, a lot of Cowboys Nation will put down the Philadelphia Eagles hiring of Kellen Moore and how he will hurt the Eagles offense more than he will help them. I have to give my honest opinion on this, Cowboys Nation. The NFC East will see Jalen Hurts make a nice jump at becoming that overall quarterback we haven't seen yet. That pocket present quarterback with the ability to run. With the addition of Saquon Barkley, it's not mandatory that Jalen Hurts takes the ball and runs now. He doesn't have to hurt himself doing the tush push to get 2 yards. He can hand the ball off and be comfortable that Saquon Barkley can get those yards needed. His ability to run can now be the secondary weapon as opposed to the primary weapon. No matter what Cowboys fans say, during the 4 years of Kellen Moore being the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator, the offense ranked 6th, 17th, 1st, and 4th. The year the Cowboys offense was 17th was the year we lost Dak Prescott to that injury for the season. The offense under Andy Dalton ranked 17, and Jalen Hurts is a much better quarterback than Andy Dalton with a plethora of weapons at his disposal. The Eagles may need a year or 2 to adjust to this new offense, but it would be yet another negative oversight if the Dallas Cowboys were to not consider them a threat this upcoming season due to whom they have at the offensive coordinator position. But anyhow, y'all know what it is with Dan Orlovsky. If it ain't about Josh Allen, it ain't about shit. He will go to bat for Josh Allen all day, every day. Dorothy Hunter, don't kill me in the comment section for mentioning Josh Allen, but that is Dan Orlovsky's man crush. He damn near cried when the NFL landscape was giving Josh Allen the business for his turnover problems. The thing is, Dan Orlovsky sounds like a bunch of Dallas Cowboys fans who hate Dak Prescott. They will neglect the numbers and make the excuses as to why the numbers are the way they are. I'm sorry, but stats don't lie, Cowboys Nation. A lot of Dak detractors will say it was during garbage time, but if you remember correctly, the Dallas Cowboys only faced a blowout from an opposing team twice last regular season. The San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills were the only teams to beat the Dallas Cowboys for more than 2 touchdowns during the regular season. Any other game the Cowboys lost had Dak in the offense trying to claw their way back into the game. Also, when the Dallas Cowboys were blowing out teams, Mike McCarthy would sit Dak Prescott in the top players and not allow them to pad the stats. So, the notion that Dak getting his stats during garbage time is nonsense, and it has been perpetuated by the talking heads and parroted by the Dak haters in Cowboys Nation. The one thing I hate, though, I hate when people try to tell me that the sky is green when I can look out the window and see that the sky is blue for myself. The ones who don't believe in Dak will bring up the team's record in the playoffs. They'll look at the fact that we're 2-5 in the playoffs. They will continuously compare Dak Prescott to Tony Romo. But I look at it in an objective way. I look at it like this, Cowboys Nation. Out of 9 years, Dak Prescott has been the quarterback for this team. He has helped this organization have 7 chances at a playoff run. During Tony Romo's tenure, he helped the organization with 6 shots at a playoff run. Remember, Tony Romo's tenure was 13 years long with the Dallas Cowboys. No diddy. Dak has surpassed him going into his 9th year, while also missing a year due to that horrific ankle injury. Dak Prescott has already surpassed Tony Romo in Cowboys history, except for yards, and he could do that this year. So for you Romo fans who hate Dak Prescott, Dak is doing what Tony Romo did in less time. The only thing Dak needs to do is to help get his team to an NFC championship game, and he would have surpassed Tony Romo in almost every quarterback metric for the Dallas Cowboys. But back to the topic of get up. How in the hell could Dan Orlovsky leave the runner-up for the MVP voting off the top 5 quarterback list? The person who beat him for that award was a quarterback from the AFC. So that means Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in the NFC last year. And one thing that these talking heads do, they anoint year 1 quarterbacks. Whether it's CJ Stroud or Jordan Love, they are ready to give these 1-year quarterbacks elite status when it's the first year any of us have seen them in action. Now these teams have tapes on these quarterbacks, and that's why you see some quarterbacks have that year 2 slump, because they can be schemed against. We get to see their tendencies on the field. We get to see their favorite targets and what they do when the pocket collapses on them. Defensive coordinators are more hip to them in year 2. And to put a quarterback who had a great end to the season on that list only shows me that Dan Orlovsky only talks out of his ass. He makes hot takes so those takes get more engagement, more clicks. My advice to get up, do not put Dan Orlovsky on the thumbnail. Seeing him on the thumbnail is a clear indicator that the viewers are about to get a hot take, and it's not football analysis. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. What do you feel about what the crew of Speak had to say? What do you feel about what I had to say? Let's have an adult conversation in the comment section. If you're digging the content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on the video and share it with your friends who are Cowboys fans. If you are DC for life and only get your Dallas Cowboys news from Cowboys content creators, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I go live, release a video, or a podcast episode. Angry Cowboys fan family, I am contemplating going live today. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to go live so we can build as true Dallas Cowboy and NFL fans. If I had to give my top 5 quarterbacks of the NFC for the 2023 season, including the playoffs, I would have to say number 5, Jordan Love. Number 4, Matthew Stafford. Number 3, Jared Goff. Number 2, Dak Prescott. And number 1, Brock Purdy. You can't hate on a quarterback that has gotten his team to the NFC Championship game 2 years running. We can discuss this more during our live, so y'all let me know, and I'll make it happen. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.